Hello friends, today we will talk about introduction for opinion essays in IELTS writing task 2. We will talk about only opinion essays. We will not discuss the introduction of other types of questions. To know different types of writing task 2 questions, please follow other videos I have uploaded on YouTube. Before we start to write our introduction, I suggest students to spend approximately 6 minutes to plan their essay. If they don't plan their essay and they start to write straight away, students might lose bands significantly because of lack of planning. The planning includes understanding the question statement properly. It includes recognizing the question and its type, and understanding the question completely, because if you misunderstand it you might write irrelevant material in your essay. And then you should plan the material you want to write in the body part. It's very important, and you can make some notes for your reference in the beginning itself, and then decide your approach and your opinion if it's required in the beginning, and the number of body part paragraphs you want to write in the body. Right, and before we start to write introduction, we need to understand the question properly, and we can divide the question into three parts, which are observation, argument, and question. The first part is observation. Please note it's sometimes not mentioned, so you might not see this part in some questions. Observation describes any trends or any popular trends in the society, and observation helps us to understand the question properly, and it forms the background of the argument. Sometimes it's mentioned, sometimes it's not mentioned. The second is argument. Argument is definitely mentioned in the question. In opinion essay there is just one side of the argument, and in discussion essays there are two sides, both sides of the argument. And sometimes in opinion agree disagree essay, argument is not mentioned clearly, and it's merged with the question. But the students need to recognize the argument, because the whole essay is going to be based on argument. And the last one is question. The question is just a simple statement at the bottom which directs your actions. So it can be just a simple and it can be recognized easily. Now, when we write the introduction, the first thing is for 6 or 6.5 bands essay, you can just simply paraphrase the observation. And paraphrasing means you can write it in a different style by using different vocabulary or synonyms, and you can change the sentence formation as well. And uh, and it's basically optional. Some students don't feel comfortable with writing observation, especially when it's not mentioned in the question. So they have to make their own observation. So sometimes they don't feel comfortable. I suggest, if you don't feel comfortable and if you feel you can't write a relevant observation, you should not write it. You can just skip it altogether and move on to the argument. Argument can again be paraphrased properly, and you can mention the same sort of argument. You don't have to try to change it if you don't feel comfortable, but still try to paraphrase as much as possible. Discussion essay would have both sides of the argument, whereas opinion agree disagree essay would have just one side, and you can change the side in opinion agree disagree essay if you like. Then you are going to give your opinion. In opinion, agree, disagree essay, your opinion is must. You should write it very clearly, and your body part would be based on your opinion, so it has to be very clear. Whereas in discussion essay, your opinion can be mentioned in the introduction, or sometimes it cannot be mentioned. It depends. If you feel comfortable, you can mention. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to mention your opinion. You can just simply write that this essay would discuss both sides of the argument before reaching a concluding view. So this is how you basically write introduction, which can be generally based on the the question statement given to you in the exam. I'll give you a few tips for introduction. The first tip is length. Some students try to write a lengthy introduction, which is dangerous. The introduction should be approximately 3 sentences. It can be sometimes 4 sentences or sometimes 2 sentences, but I believe students can be more comfortable with 3 sentences. And students should focus on paraphrasing the statement properly so that it cannot be considered copied, because obviously if it's considered copied from the statement, question statement that's given to you in the exam, you're going to lose bands. And the most important thing is don't spend a lot of time on introduction. Many students spend a lot of time on trying to make introduction better, and they mismanage their time, and they find it difficult to finish their task in given time. So that's all for today. We will post more videos related to IELTS. Your comments would be helpful. Thank you.